Hey everyone, thanks for joining the channel. And today we're talking about the crap. I forgot the cameras. These guys right here. This is what we're talking about here today. C70 and R6. This isn't the R6. This is actually the R, but I'm shooting on the R6. And we're talking about this big guy right here, which is the C70. I gotta say, when I first got these with this camera in the mail, I was like, boom! So excited. Unboxed it, took a look at it. But before any of that, I could also say to you that before you get these cameras, one of the things that is most important is getting good lighting. I mean, this setup right here, right now, is lit with really good lights. Check this out. If I turn this off and then turn these key lights off, so with all the lights off, this is exactly what it looks like with the setup now. I mean, it's not exactly the greatest lighting. So you could get any camera in the world. If your lighting is bad, your audio is bad, whatever that is, it's just not going to look good unless you have really good lighting. So let's get back to the other light. Just throwing that out there to give you my opinion on that. We'll get right into the video. So yeah, man, I gotta say, when I first got this, I was so excited that, there's something about having a nice new camera body it's just awesome. It's just great. So my first impressions about the C70 were, obviously I was kind of looking at the things like the built-in ND filters. I absolutely love the feature on that. You can just, it's simple, it's fast, it's just like you're on a site and it's just boom, you press the button and there you go, you've got the ND filters. I love the build of this camera. I mean, I would much rather the R5 or R6 kind of look like this, big, bulky and chunky like that. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people like the smaller Sony or like even, Canon R5, R6. I personally, I like the bigger camera bodies. That's just kind of how I like it to look. It just feels like it's in charge and just strong. Some of the things I did not like about the C70 is that autofocus wasn't as fast as how I would like it to be. And there was a lot of times, keep in mind, I also went inside the C70 menu, turned up the AF speed and the AF response, cranked that all the way up to the highest setting that it can go. And I can still say with confidence that I think, from my point of view and my perspective, that the R6 was just a little sharper, a little faster. And then a few things that I noticed about the C70 was it kept hunting back and forth to like just a stilled shot. I'm doing a lot of run and gun and a lot of like job sites and different things like that where I'm working with clients that are moving around a lot. So the autofocus in the R5 and the R6 are just really, really fast. This guy here, not as fast. I found that it was doing a lot of that hunting, which was, I gotta say, it was really annoying and a big letdown. And then when I'm comparing like the picture quality and things like that to the R6, I just was like, is it worth that much more money to have this guy over the R6? And a lot of you say, well, did you run into overheating problems with the R6 and the R5? Me personally, I have never ever ran into an overheating problem with the R6 or R5. I'm not getting paid by Canon or anything like that to say those things. Just saying, I don't give a crap what anyone thinks. As a matter of fact, I don't give a crap what anyone thinks. I'm just giving my honest opinion about these cameras. And I love the R6 and the R5. So unfortunately, this C70, as nice as it is and as big and bulky and just that build, I love the build of this and just feels like it's a beast. I'm going to be giving this back just because it's really expensive and I could invest in other things. It's not really that much different. What can I say? It seems to be the exact same. I was shooting in C-Log 2 on this camera right here and shooting in C-Log on the R6. And to me, this doesn't seem that much different. So unfortunately, I will be returning this. Didn't really find it that much more better than the R6. So it's going to go back and we could just maybe put that money towards, again, like I said to you, good lighting. Audio is very, very important. Getting a drone, getting that bird up in the sky for a different shot. That's always really, really good to have for your clients. Not to mention getting a gimbal. A gimbal is really, really helpful. I've said to my wife 100 times that gimbals are the best investment that I've made is a gimbal. I love them. They're just, not to mention when you show up onto a job site, you just look like you know what you're doing. Even though if you don't know what you're doing, you look like you know what you're doing, okay? So just leave it at that. So guys, my thoughts on the C70 versus the R6. I would just say whatever your budget is, obviously if you want this, and the nice thing about one of these two is that built-in fan. That built-in fan on this C70 is amazing. You never ever run into overheating issues with this guy, and that is just awesome. But for me personally, I don't ever turn on the camera, play, and then just sit back and do an interview for 5 hours or whatever it is. I'm all run and gun kind of guy. I'm shooting here, shooting there, and I'm setting up my shots. So I've got a lot of breaks in between, and I've never ever ran into an overheating issue problem with these cameras, and they're just great. Those are my thoughts on the Canon C70 and R6, and what one you should choose. You figure that out for yourself. I would say that's more important to choose good lighting and good other gear. Those are my thoughts on these cameras. If you enjoyed the video, please smash that like button for me. That'd be really helpful. New YouTuber, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. See you in the next video. Take care.